Now, listen, the NFL has been a little weird the last 2 weeks we've done this, but it has not looked great for us picking these last 2 weeks. I mean, shit, the Panthers won last week.
I think and may I give myself a pat on the back because I said I didn't believe the Raiders hype. I didn't think, they went into Baltimore, they stunned them. Ravens haven't looked good all season. They didn't even look good last week against the freaking Cowboys.
Oh, what?
No,
I thought they looked real good.
They won
dude.
by 3.
Yeah, but that game was out of hand until the end.
You play a game for 4 quarters, not
I know.
1 half.
I know.
And I didn't believe in the Raider hype. Antonio Pierce is ripping his players for making business decisions.
Saw that. That's
In the
crazy.
post-game
I
interview.
love Antonio Pierce.
And don't get me wrong, I love it. But, man, at some point, the locker room, it's more than respect. I think respect is both ways. And you just got to hope guys don't take it the wrong way. And they take it as constructive criticism. Now, let's see if those guys who did make business decisions can learn from it. But I did say the Panthers were going to win last week.
You did? All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. We're actually going to skip Thursday night game as we watch the end of it. We're filming Thursday night.
Yep.
We should clarify that we do this at night because sometimes we do say dumb stuff and we do get roasted.
That's true.
And me more than it seems like
Hey,
it's
it's after a
roasted
long
more than
day at
anyway.
work,
It's after
okay?
a long
It's
day
a
at work.
long
We
day
got
at
other
work.
jobs.
Yeah.
Wake up early for work. Make some dumb decisions.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, I tell you what, we get more popular, maybe less dumb decisions.
Hey,
Because we'll be doing it earlier.
yeah,
Because we won't be working. Probably not. Still gonna have dumb decisions, but
That's okay, though.
It's entertaining.
it'll be less,
we'll go ahead,
less of a reason
Although
to,
I
though.
will show, just because I do have. I'm not sure if you're part of our pick and pool. I did have the Dallas Cowboys.
I
to win.
did as well,
So we'll go ahead and start.
as I'm sure most of you did as well.
Yes, of course. Although the Giants, might be a little hope in New York, but
Okay, hey, that's what happens when you give Daniel Jones time in the pocket. He can make a couple throws. I
also could miss a couple throws.
he didn't get in the end zone tonight, but that's why you have
Hey,
a
listen,
kicker.
you didn't, hey, and you didn't bet Danny Dimes to find the end zone.
I did not.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the New Orleans Saints in Atlanta.
Yep, division game
I'll
this
go
week.
ahead and big division game. Looks like I'll go ahead and start off. I really like this New Orleans offense. I know a lot of people don't believe in Derek Carr, and I know they got really dominated last week against the Eagles.
Mhm.
Eagles got a pretty good defense. I'm gonna ride with the Saints on this one. I think their offense figures out a way to start rolling again. I know the Falcons look good,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the Saints pull it out.
Man, they had it last week against the Chiefs, and I feel like we just sound like a broken record with this team almost beat the Chiefs. This team almost beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, but the PI fucked them.
It's the little calls,
Or the non-PI.
It's the little calls and decisions you make, like Raheem Morris not going for a field goal right there in the red zone. Next thing you know, you're driving down. You need 2. Now you need 5. Now you need the touchdown. That makes a difference. And they have a great kicker in Younghoe Koo. So for me, I'm going to take the Saints, as I feel like they're the team that's going to make less errors on the field. And
Better coached, almost. You're saying?
yeah, I would probably say that. And I mean, Raheem, they haven't looked bad this season, but it's little decisions like that, especially in a division game where there's not a lot of margin for error, you're going to take the team that you can trust to make less mistakes to win a ball game. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm taking the Saints.
All right, there you go. All right, so we got the Bengals, who are for somehow, some way, not or against the Panthers in Carolina. And the Panthers somehow, some way, not the 0-3 team that is going into this.
I don't think that's
matchup.
the conversation we would be having at the start of the season.
No, although I do think I can't really bring myself. This is kind of, although I don't know if they treated him wrong. This is a little bit of a Red Rocket revenge game.
It is.
Man, I don't like the waffle. You know what? Give me the Panthers. I think actually, you know what? No, give me the Bengals.
No.
Give me the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals. Dude, see, the problem is I just can't see the Carolina Panthers defense stopping that offense. The Bengals offense looked good last week.
They did.
Their defense looks absolutely terrible,
Abysmal.
but their offense looked good. They can't really run the rock now that Joe Mixon's gone.
Mm-hmm.
They lose a lot of production there.
Yep.
But go ahead. I think the offense carries them this game. Take the Bengals.
Okay. Now we got that new era of the Red Rocket in Carolina. And this is coming from someone that took the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl at the start of the year, to win the Super Bowl even. I'll give you that.
Check out the short.
And that defense is ass.
Bad.
To put it
Bad. To put it nicely.
to put it nicely, it is bad. Trey Hendrickson can only do so much in that front line. I'm gonna take Carolina.
All right.
They looked great last week against the Raiders. And I mean, until the Bengals show me the team that I saw at the start of the season, I got no reason to pick them. So for me, I'm going Carolina this week.
There you go. Okay, so we got the very, very beat up Los Angeles Rams versus the Chicago Bears. I'll go ahead and have you start this one, if you would like.
I mean, hey, we saw a game last week where the Rams looked like they were beat. And at no point did you think, they look pretty good during this game against the Niners. And yes, the Niners have their own injuries. Debo didn't play. CMC's on IR. Doesn't look like he's going to be back anytime soon.
He's in Germany getting treatment.
And
apparently, according to a lot of people, you don't go to Germany unless it's a problem.
Yeah, I said it a couple weeks ago. I don't think he plays another snap this season. That's just me. It's tendonitis. It's an issue that
and his Achilles
sticks
too.
with you.
It's an Achilles
for a guy
too.
that pivots so much, likes to change directions. That is not what you want with your running back. And for me, I look at what happened to Todd Gurley. He was still young, but he had a tendonitis in his knee, and we saw how quick his career ended. I still think the Bears are playing okay, but when you lose to the Colts, I can't forgive that. I cannot forgive that.
Watch it.
So for me, I will be taking the Rams this week, and they're going to have to ride Kyren like they did last week against the Niners.
Bears scored 3 tuds.
Yep.
Off the back of that, I'm actually going to take Chicago. I think Caleb kind of showed flashes last week, threw for 350 yards.
Yeah.
Now, did he and Anthony Richardson play a little bit of no, you take the ball, no, you take the ball, no, you take the ball, no, you take the ball? Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to happen when you have 2 young quarterbacks. And I think that Caleb's slowly starting to figure it out. Like I said, 350 yards on a defense that isn't great. But yeah, I'm going to take the Bears. I think this is a game where maybe we see Caleb figure it out. It doesn't help that they can't run the ball for it. They couldn't run against the Colts.
Hey, they're starting to get Roshan Johnson the ball now.
I'm convinced that I could run against the Colts. So the fact that they couldn't run against the Colts is a little bit of a problem. But Aaron Donald's not there anymore. I'll take the Bears.
Okay.
All right, we got big rivalry game.
Yep.
Minnesota, undefeated Minnesota, against the Malik Willis led Green Bay Packers. I just don't think they're going to rush Love. If they're winning, they're in a situation now where they're 2. If they lose this, they're 2-2. I think they can.
You take that.
I think you take that.
Okay. So you're taking the Vikings?
No. I'm going to take the Packers.
Wow.
I'm going to take the Packers, and I'll tell you what, I don't like to steal anything, but obviously I watch stuff. So this is a little bit of influence from something I watched. I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and they were showing that LaFleur, obviously head coach for Green Bay, is running a very similar offense to the offense he ran in Tennessee back in the day with Marcus Mariota. So it's a very cool situation where LaFleur could easily be like, okay, Malik, you're the backup quarterback. You have to come in and fit my system.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like he's doing that. Looks like he's putting the ego to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, okay, let's go. I know what type of quarterback you are, what you need to be successful, and I'm going to apply it. And I think that shows again. Although I do think the Vikings are very good.
Yeah.
I think the Green Bay Packers, for some reason, just kind of have this magic about them where they're going to win until they get Jordan Love back, and then they're probably going to win after that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's funny. And of course, I got bit by the Vikings last week with my Texans. And I mean, they handed it to them. I think Laramie Tunsil forgot he played for the Texans and was wearing a Vikings jersey under his jersey. That might have to be investigated. We won't know. But I actually am as well. But it comes with a caveat. I take the Packers if Jordan Love is playing. For me, the Vikings are just playing so well, both sides of the ball. Their new acquisition this offseason, our new signee, Jonathan Grenard, had 3 sacks last week against the Texans, against his old team. And that hurt. But I think when you're doing it on both sides of the ball, they're running it. They're playing great defense, and Sam Darnold's not making any mistakes right now. I take the Vikings if it's Malik, and I take the Packers if it's Love.
All right.
That's what I'm going with this week.
All right, another division rival. Your Houston Texans play host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet because we are, running a little long on this. But the Texans, the Jaguars suck.
I saw fans talking about it, and if the Texans don't win this game handedly, you got to start asking some questions. Because from what we saw from the Jags on Monday Night Football was Doug Peterson, you better watch out. Because your job is coming.
He's got to start calling plays again.
He
might be calling plays, but I don't know.
So I will be taking my Texans, though. I can't go against them. Give me them this week.
All right, so my Indianapolis Colts will be playing host to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hasn't exactly against the Steelers, hasn't exactly been a home field advantage for the Colts. Seems like a lot of terrible towels are in that Lucas Oil Stadium. That's not the only reason I'm going to do this. It pains me to do this. But what's the Colts' weakness? Can't really get anything going on offense, and they can't stop the run. What are the two things the Steelers do very well? Play defense and run the fucking
Sounds like
rock.
a recipe for disaster for the Colts this week.
I think the Steelers are going to dominate.
Really?
Give me the Steelers. I'll take the spread if it was fucking 12.
I too am going to take the Steelers. I think when what we're seeing with Justin Fields this year, not turning over the ball, and I mean he's still got the explosiveness with his legs. Just because he's not making mistakes or the big plays, doesn't mean he can't make them with his legs. And so for me, I'm going to keep it short. Give me the Steelers this week.
It's fair. All right, we got the Broncos, revitalized Broncos.
But a whooping on the Bucks.
Oh yeah.
Going
into MetLife. Hopefully they can keep all their ACLs. Going into MetLife and playing the New York Jets. I'll go ahead and start this one off, and I'll kind of keep it a little short. I think the Jets can be a wagon. I think the Jets can be really good. Their defense is really good. Aaron Rodgers is getting better and better the more comfortable he's getting in the pocket with dealing with that coming off that Achilles injury.
Right.
I know they have Patrick Surtain. I don't think that's going to matter because it looks like Aaron Rodgers is back to his normal BS of throwing to anybody on the field.
Yeah.
At any time. Give me the Jets.
Al Lazard is back, baby.
Yep.
I think this is probably going to be the lowest scoring game of the week, just given with how good two defenses are. And, Bo Nix is still a rookie. And the Jets haven't been too explosive. Obviously, they whooped the pass last week, but no one was really surprised with that. But yeah, I do think it's going to be a low-scoring game. But I am going to take the Jets in this one.
All right, we got Bucks at home versus the Eagles. You go ahead and go first because I have a little bit of a longer.
Okay. These are two teams that, although they're not in the same division, they got a lot a lot of recent history, I will say. You got the Bucks who beat them last year in the playoffs, and then you got the Eagles who beat them in the previous year in the playoffs. So, these teams go way back together. Well, in recent memory, of course. And like we said with the Bucks, they looked horrendous last week against the Broncos. But for me, I think they're going to get a bounce back week. I don't know, just something about the Eagles and Sirianni. It doesn't really scream too much of confidence in me to pick them this week. I know Saquon looks like the best player in the NFL this year, but I'm going to go with the Bucks. Not handedly, but that's who I'm going with this week.
So, I think you kind of touched on the topic I want to talk about with Sirianni.
Mm-hmm.
I think for some reason it just doesn't seem like he's just not really making the right choice right now.
Mm-hmm.
He could have gone into half. They ended up winning the game, sure, but a lot of people in Philadelphia are still mad. There are some people calling for his job in Philadelphia. And it's tough to play while people are calling for your job. It's tough to coach when people are calling for your job, and it's the fact that they had the chance to kick a field goal to tie the game going into halftime, 3-3 snooze fest, unless you like defense, 3-3.
Yeah.
And they decided to go for it and didn't even tush push. They ran a little end around, fake tush push, and Saquon got stuffed. And a lot of people are kind of drawing question marks on that. Why not go into the half with a brand new game, tied, even though it is 3-3. I think it would have gotten really loud if they lost that game.
Yeah.
Certainly if it was by like 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think with that being said, I think this is a bounce back week for the Bucks. I think the Bucks win.
Yeah.
And I think with that comes a 2-2 Eagles, where you're going to see a lot of Philadelphia fans. Hopefully the Phillies do really well in the playoffs for Nick Sirianni's sake, so they're a little distracted.
Yeah, I mean, and that's with them. Let's say they do lose this week, that's still them in the tie for the division lead. And that's the crazy thing.
That
but
division sucks.
I think there is something to say when those games aren't won handedly or confidently. So it's going to be definitely interesting to see what this week what it shapes up to be.
Yeah. All right, so we got Washington going into Arizona
Mm-hmm.
and playing. They lost, but playing a pretty good Cardinals team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep the rest of these a little short. I don't really have a long description for these. I'm gonna go with Washington.
Wow.
I like Jaden Daniels a lot. I
Okay.
think he's showing a lot of promise. The key thing is this is the only thing I'll say. This is so impressive for a rookie quarterback. No turnovers, no punts for 2 straight games. You're not giving the ball to the other team. Your defense is obviously playing good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the
Commanders, huh?
Commanders.
Okay. I mean, they made some ballsy decisions last week against a tough Bengals team. Yes, they are 0-3. Now they had a hand in that. But I think there's something to say when you trust your quarterback to make 2 4th down conversions in their own half. That shows a lot of confidence from a head coach. And I think as a player, you'd love to see it because, yes, he's only started in 3 games in his NFL career. But when your coach has that kind of confidence in you, it does say something. But I will say, I do like the Cardinals this week. But I like the Commanders a lot more after what I saw on Monday Night Football.
That's fair. All right, we got New England going to Santa Clara and playing the 49ers. 49ers don't look good. I think this is the perfect time for a nice bounce-back game for the 49ers. I think the 49ers kind of stick it to the New England Patriots, kind of show that they're back. I think their defense needs something like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Yeah, I think, even though we did say that they should have won last week against the Rams, and it wasn't a great showing, even though Purdy struggled again. I think this is a good bounce back spot. You lean on the run game with Jordan Mason, who's looked good this year. And you might even have Debo back this week. But even if you don't, Juwan Jennings, he stepped up huge. He's looking like the guy that should be making $25 million. Sorry, Brandon Ayuk. But give me the Niners this week.
All right, we got the Cleveland Browns playing the only team that's lost to the Carolina Panthers, the Raiders.
Yep.
It looks like neither one of these teams can figure this out. If I was actually betting on this game, I'd stay far, far away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Just purely from a talent standpoint. Give me the Browns.
Yeah, and like I said earlier about Antonio Pearson calling out his guys, I think it's going to be this game is going to show a lot, I think. So for me, I'm going to go with the Browns. Deshaun hasn't looked great this year. He's thrown a lot of picks, but something when you lose to a team that looked as bad as the Panthers, there's going to be some little. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm going to take the Browns this week. Raiders really got to show me something.
All right. Kansas City going to Los Angeles. Playing the Chargers. I'll keep this short. I said earlier, I think Travis Kelce catches a touchdown. I think the Chiefs are going to win until they don't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs take this one. Give me the Chiefs to go 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little worrisome, especially if Joel Alt isn't going to play. I know he's been a little bit banged up lately.
He's hurt. I don't think he's going to play.
I think it certainly affected the run game last week. Yes, they played the Steelers, who are a great defense. But JK he ran for 44 yards on like 11 carries, which isn't a great tally for him. But give me the Chiefs. Just keep it simple.
All right, we got a good game. Depending on how it goes, we got Buffalo. Good temperature game for Baltimore here. Buffalo playing the Ravens. I'll keep this one short. We don't have our Ravens fan here for me to make fun of.
Yeah.
I said it the last time we did this. I'll say it this time. As long as Josh Allen's on the field, there's a chance to win the game.
Yep.
And I'm taking Josh Allen almost every single time I can. I think right now solidified himself as the best quarterback in the NFL. Give me the Buffs.
Wow. Okay. I would say it's a bit of a hot take, especially, I've been calling Mahomes a game manager since last year, but that's another topic for discussion. Yeah, give me Josh Allen. I think that offense hasn't skipped a beat. I mean, last week they put
They're
up
spreading the ball everywhere. Scored with 5 different guys.
and
in the first
showing
half.
no, repercussion of it with getting rid of Diggs. Keep it going. Let's go with the good old Buffalo Bills.
There you go. All right, we got pretty much kind of a snooze fest because it seems like Tennessee Titans aren't very good.
Yeah.
And they're playing no Tua Dolphins. I don't think it's going to be Skylar Thompson. I think it's going to be Huntley. Who's the quarterback. Yeah. They signed him last week. Huntley didn't look bad for the Ravens when Lamar was out. But once again, this is like the Browns Raiders situation. I'd stay far away from this, but we got to do the pick 'em.
Yes, we do.
Give me the Tennessee Titans to win that game.
Okay.
For no other reason than the fact that I had to pick somebody.
Yeah. I don't think we say this
I
confidently.
can't believe that's a Monday Night Football game.
I would say it looked a lot better on paper going into the year.
With Tua, it's a good Monday night.
Yeah. And Will Levis has, like I said, shown flashes of it in the past.
Highest highs
and
the lowest lows.
Are low.
Unfortunately, he's only showing the lowest lows right now.
But for that reason, I am gonna take what I think is gonna be the better quarterback in that game. I will be taking the Titans, but not with a lot of confidence in my chest.
There you go. All right, and to cap it off, this is a better Sunday night game.
No, Monday night.
Monday night game. My bad.
2 of them again.
Yeah, 2 of them again. This is a better Monday night game. We have the undefeated, very quietly undefeated too, Seattle Seahawks up against the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions, it almost seemed like that old Detroit Lions kind of reared its head 2 weeks ago when they played the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And lost.
Oh,
no, the Lions beat the Cardinals, huh?
Yeah,
Who'd
they beat
lose
them. They lost to the. Oh my God, it was a bad one. It was a bad loss. It was let me get it real quick. Oh, they lost to the Bucks.
Okay.
But at the time, it was 1-0. They were both 1-0.
Yeah. So it didn't look like back then. So it might not have been a terrible loss, but they did not look great.
Yeah, in that loss, it was pretty handily, I would say.
I think last week was a good bounce back for them, and I think they continue to ride that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Lions to win a tight one in Detroit. I think I like Geno Smith. Geno Smith seems like he can spin it, and he's certainly hitting DK Metcalf, who, by the way, caught that ball almost standing still, and then proceeded to pull away from the 2 guys that were already running full speed.
He's a freak athlete. But I do like what they're doing in Seattle right now. But I like Dan Campbell. I like what they do out there in Detroit.
Great Applebee's ads.
Yes. I will be taking the Lions, but I do think it's gonna be a great Monday Night Football game.
It's got to be. It's the later one. It's probably the only one I'm watching.
I would say most people.
Although I do find myself watching even the bad games, so I can kind of just get information for this. You know what I'm saying? Like I do find myself really watching games I would normally not watch, just to try and get some ball knowledge for this, just so I seem like less of an idiot when we do this. All right, that's the slate. Hopefully we don't completely fuck it up this week. We'll see, though.
I mean, with how the first 3 weeks have gone, I'm sure we'll have some fuck ups in there somewhere.
Yeah, something. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That's it. That's all.
That's all we got for now.
That's all we got for now. All right, guys.
Alrighty.
Like I said, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later.